What are the most important points here that we need to know as they try to work towards the beginning of a baseball season?
The new MLB season, if we get one, presents a clean slate for players looking to rebound after subpar seasons. Here are 7 players looking for bounce-back seasons after a poor performance in 2019.
Fly ball to left field, sending O'Neill back at the wall. That ball is gone. Opposite field for Eric Hosmer.
Eric Hosmer, the second year of Hosmer's 8-year deal with the Padres, wasn't much better than the first, which is worrisome from San Diego's perspective. The veteran first baseman hit .265 with 22 home runs, but his .310 on-base percentage simply isn't good enough, especially for someone who's making $21 million a year. Hosmer is only 30 and he is still sound defensively, but he doesn't look like the guy who was once an all-star for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, not easy.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Archer on target today. 7 straight, retired.
Chris Archer. Archer's results have been a nightmare since he was traded from Tampa to Pittsburgh in 2018. That was particularly the case last season as he finished with a career worst 5.19 ERA in 23 starts and was on the shelf to end the year with a shoulder injury. There is optimism Archer can bounce back this season as he's pitched better in the second half last year after trashing his two-seam fastball, and he will get help from a new coaching staff in Pittsburgh.
8-4, a high blast to left, and Garver has sent one out again.
Edwin Diaz. Prior to the 2019 season, the Mets gave up a huge sum to get Diaz and Robinson Cano. Most notably, top prospect Jarred Kelenic. Diaz was a bust after posting a 1.96 ERA in his final season with the Mariners. Diaz's ERA ballooned to 5.59 in New York, and on top of that blew 7 saves. Whatever the reason for Diaz's issues, one ex-teammate thought the city was a bad fit for him. The Mets need him to be a lot better to justify the hefty price they paid.
The 1-2. Driven to left. Deep and gone!
Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera mostly stayed healthy last season, which is an improvement from a lost 2018 season. However, his tally of 12 home runs is unfathomably low for a player who was once one of the most feared sluggers in the game. It may be that age and injury have sapped Cabrera of his power, as his numbers have dropped since the 2016 season. The Tigers have him on the books through 2023, and while he may never be an MVP again, they desperately like to get some production out of him.
Now Jose Ramirez launches one deep left field and way out of here.
Jose Ramirez. Ramirez's numbers were ruined by an awful first 3 months of last season. Expect him to be more like the player who dominated in 2017 and 18 and the second half of 19, which is good news for the Indians because they need him and Francisco Lindor to be exceptional to catch the Twins.
High fly ball right field and good.
Joey Votto. Votto is one of the most intelligent and cerebral hitters in the league, so to see him post his worst season as an MLB player in 2019 is really alarming. Votto hit just .261 with only 15 home runs and 47 RBIs. Those are remarkably bad numbers from one of the most reliable hitters of his generation. Votto turned 36 last September, so there is another instance where age may be catching up to him. The Reds, who have been very aggressive in the offseason, are hoping that is not the case.
3-2 to Javier Baez and a swing and a miss on a wicked breaking ball, and that's 3 batters in a row.
And finally, Trevor Bauer. Bauer had just a .221 ERA in 2018 and looked to be establishing himself as one of the game's best pitchers. He wasn't quite as good for the start of 2019, and then his numbers bombed after he was dealt to Cincinnati. Bauer won just twice in 10 starts for the Reds, posting a 6.39 ERA, though he said he was playing through injury. Bauer was acquired to lead the rotation, and he's entering a contract year. For those reasons, he should be motivated to be at his best in 2020. The Reds, who will likely anchor their rotation around him, desperately need that to be the case.